Old Fashioned Football on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to a $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code OFFSGPN.
Hey, what's up? This is Sam Acho, and you're listening to Old Fashioned Football.
Welcome to Old Fashioned Football. If you're wondering who you listen to, this is JMark. You can find me on the X at JMark Football. And if you're wondering who us is, that's at Old Fashioned FB. Before I keep going, I mean, we got some awesome guests to bring on, but let's bring in somebody that's not a guest, the co-host on the pod and in life. You can find her on the X at the Mark. Mur, I already know the answer to this, but how you doing today?
Been better.
You've been better. Under the weather. The summer cold is the worst.
It is the worst because there's so much to do. Like, you just want to be outside. You want to be doing things. It's sunny.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
not that I want to be sick, but being sick in the winter is a little different than you feel good about.
I mean,
throwing on sweatshirts and being under blankets.
Have an excuse to stay in. It's too damn cold out anyways and all that. Yeah. Not fun, but you were a trooper. I know I probably annoyed you today. I kept asking.
Oh my God. I was about ready to just shut my office door and tell you to stay out.
I promise it was coming from a point of caring. I'm like,
you asked me no less than like 5 times a day, are you sure you're going to be able to do the podcast? And I told you, I'm going to do it, but people
are going to get what they get.
They're going to get what they get.
Yeah. I mean, I know I've been sick and having to like jump on the pod is not the funnest thing because you got to use your voice. But
like, I know I've missed our pod being sick before when I've had fevers.
Right.
Am so achy. I knock on wood. Maybe the meds are keeping the fevers away, but I haven't been fevering.
I'm a little nervous. This is about as close as I've been sitting to you since you've been sick.
Yeah.
And we know my immune system sucks. So.
I'm normally not the one who gets sick.
No, that's normally me. But hey, we got 2 guests today. One returning to Old Fashioned Football, one making his debut on Old Fashioned Football. I am pumped. I know you're pumped. But what are we talking about today?
Today we're gonna go over the NFC East. We're gonna follow like the same format we've been doing. We're gonna go through each team, get into the offseason changes and any news with these teams.
Yeah.
We're going to bring in the fantasy football focus a little bit on some of the key players. We'll have bets at the end of every division.
We will have bets.
And then, of course, we're going to do a whiskey review, and I will try my best. My nose and my taste buds aren't all there, so maybe I'll finally pick up on those weird
things that I usually do.
Yes.
I was going to say, if we have to rely on me,
interesting.
If we have to rely on me for the nose and the taste, y'all might be in trouble because I usually do get the weird things. Speaking of fantasy football, I see out of the corner of my eye here, my peripherals.
Get out of here.
Draft set up, ready to be on the clock.
I'm multitasking.
Late round, right? Late round here.
We're in the 16th.
Yeah.
16 out of 18.
Yeah, this is in one of the SGPN degens. So, yeah.
I do not want to cough into the mic this entire podcast. Nobody wants to listen to that.
If you cough that way, I mean, these mics are pretty good at picking up only the directions. Everybody in the chat, hoping you feel better. I offered to make you a hot toddy.
I did not. It.
However,
I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling anything aside. Like, I have had like sourdough toast. And tea and honey. Herbal tea. Right now I made just black tea with honey so that I have a little bit of not sleepiness to me.
Sleepiness. Nick Fortune also checking in saying, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Before we fucking go, though, what are we drinking today? Even though you don't have a cocktail. I do, but that's okay.
Yeah, we are drinking, and I apologize if I butcher this. Is it Nika?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, see? Nika coffee grain whiskey. It's a Japanese whiskey, which I guess we've done a Japanese style whiskey. I don't think we did it on the show because you really didn't care for it. And I didn't care for it. And it made me feel like, okay, I don't like Japanese whiskey. Have I ever had? No, we tried Japanese whiskey when we were in Texas.
Yeah, we tried Suntory, which is actually owned by Jim Beam, but made in Japan.
Yeah.
You've tried this as well.
I have.
We have both tried this before. But
I will tell you, my mind is gone too. I have been
fair.
like, you can be overwhelmed and you can be forgetful, but when you're sick and like your brain's just not there, like I have like, oh, I know this. I know I should remember this conversation I had with somebody and I can't remember anything. It's been happening a lot to me.
Welcome to my life all the time. So I can never remember anything. Nick Fortunesay and I will probably be sick next week. Probably. Hey, we're going to bring these guests on, but before we do, don't forget, as you make it through the coughing, you're good. Don't forget to download the SGPN app for all of our picks and podcasts for free in one convenient place. SGPN app, wherever you get your apps. And that's right, it is free. One of our guests did tell us he was going to be running a little bit late, so we're going to bring him on later. But we got a guest now waiting. You're going to be all right?
No, I have a frog in my throat too. It's like that.
I told you not to eat frogs. I don't know what's wrong. You're not French. Don't eat the frogs.
This is horrible. Nobody wants to hear this shit.
I promise. If you go that way, you won't hear it that much. So our first guest, making his first appearance on Old Fashioned Football. He's the host of the Bottom Line Bombs, co-host of the UFL Gambling Podcast with me. You might know him as the Man in the Box or Scumbagger Vance, or as I like to refer to him, the 2025 King of Spring. Sorry, I'm capping it to just 1 year for now. We'll see. He's also a really funny comedian, and that's Mr. CJ Sullivan. CJ, welcome to Old Fashioned Football.
Thank you, guys. What a great time to make a debut. I feel like almost like a coward watching Miranda multitask here. Not only is she near death, but she's running a fantasy draft. She's drinking the whiskey, and she's also co-hosting the podcast with her beloved, who annoys the hell out of her all day long. This incredible achievement by you, Miranda. I mean, I am in awe and happy to be here.
We're happy to have you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I didn't think about it earlier, but then I started thinking about it as like the two things that our guests have in common, you and the guy that we're going to get to, is that we all co-host a show with that crazy Colby Dant. So
yes.
I mean, we all have that in common, I guess.
And I will be joining that college experience show with him during the season. I'm going to be doing the pick shows with him on the Wednesday night. So
very nice. Love it.
Just a quick 7-hour marathon. You know how those guys do as they run down every game and
right.
every floor from every division in high school. I'm just glad they don't do Texas high school football.
Don't give him any ideas. I
know. But yeah, we run the UFL show together, and thank you for the connotation of the King of Spring of 2025. As you know, it was a DFS dynamo this year in UFL, and we were just to give those DC defenders one more tout. We were on them. I was on them all year long. That was one of the most satisfying spring football league conclusions I've ever had. Too bad the league's going to be dissipated now. But
don't jinx it yet. It sounds like we might get one more year out of it.
We're gonna get one more year. Everyone's relocating to a different town. I like how they're not even moving to different states. They're like, let's just head to the next town over. Get our right. stuff, you know.
Right here.
Yeah, it's like they're getting kicked out of their house. Exactly.
I did see that the Memphis Showboats signed Arena Football 1 quarterback Sam Castronova, who I got to interview when I was covering the AF1, and Dwayne Brown from the Albany Firebirds, who I also got to interview. So I'm excited to see what those guys can do. Obviously changing that arena game to the outdoor full field and all that. It's a big change, but a lot of people say you got to process faster in the arena game. So we'll see how that works.
Plus, there's crowd noise you have to deal with. You don't have to deal with that in UFL. You have to deal with the silence in the UFL and your own thoughts that go through your head. So it's still challenging. It's just a different kind of obstacle you have to go through,
especially in Memphis.
Memphis is it's just tumbleweeds going through there. It's hilarious.
All right, well, let's talk a little NFL.
Yeah, we're gonna go in order of. We've been going in the order of how teams finished last year in their division. So we're gonna start with the Eagles, who won the division last year, it's convenient. This is your team. You're an Eagles fan. Congrats on the Super Bowl win.
It was amazing. I'd like to say everyone was an Eagles fan for that Super Bowl, though, because we all came together. We all came together for one day, and I know she's doing a podcast right now that might be in competition with us. But to watch Taylor Swift cry was a moment that all Americans could have enjoyed.
I mean, not to throw Miranda under the bus, but she was rooting for those Chiefs.
Hey, we don't have to talk about that.
I was not. In fact, we went to.
I just thought it was rigged. I thought it was going to be rigged for them to get the 3-peat. So
no, absolutely. And it seemed like in that first penalty, but then like finally, like someone called like, okay, we can't have this, and then it was just gorgeous. If they were going to lose, it had to be like that. It was just so. It was just amazing.
Yeah, we had to get together at your parents' cabin, and everybody but me and one other person were rooting for the Chiefs. So
wow.
I did see Moneyline joined. We're going to cover the Eagles real quick and then get you on Moneyline.
Okay.
CJ, just out of curiosity, how'd you become an Eagles fan?
Well, I was born and raised out there, but I was actually the first in my family. My parents were from the Northeast, like in Connecticut. And my dad moved down there to Philly for a job. So I was born in Philly and raised there. But I will tell you this real quick, that my parents learned real quickly how important it was to raise an Eagle fan in Philadelphia. And you couldn't bring your outside nonsense in there. When I was a little kid, my mom bought me a bathrobe, and she bought me, because she loved Roger Staubach, she bought me a Dallas Cowboy bathrobe. And she tried to claim that was the only one left, which there's no way, it was impossible. And then we went to like this like sleepover, and they learned real quickly that does not fly. So that was ripped and that was thrown away that day. And then I was the Eagle fan ever since.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about them. I'm going to kind of turn it over to you. Talk about a little bit about the offseason changes and what we can expect from those changes this year.
Yeah, well, obviously they lost a lot of players. Anytime you win a championship, you're going to lose a lot of players. That's the nature of the beast, and they lost. The stat is on defense, 4,397 snaps they lost. I'm not sure if that's a big number or a low number, but it sounds big. I'm not sure what snaps really has to do with it. But, they lost CJ Gardner-Johnson, Darius Slay. Josh Sweat was a big one, Milton Williams, Brandon Graham. But they replaced, they kept the nucleus that they needed to keep. They're always good with that. They're probably the best run organization in sports with Howie Roseman and the general manager. So they kept Zach Bond. They got to replace a D-line with Jalix Hunt and Moro Jono. So I'm not worried about that. The offense is still intact. The O-line, a little banged up, but that's not right. The only problem they have right now is the cornerback position outside of Guantanamo Bay. But the offense would be still great. AJ Brown should and Devontae and John Donson, they say will step up as a third receiver. He kind of joined like mid-season last year and didn't really catch on, but apparently he's been looking good. Saquon is a concern, not just for the amount of touches he had last year. He had 482 touches, which is one of the top 5, I think, of all time, not since DeMarco Murray, I believe, who had like 497 in 2014. So fantasy, as you're talking about fantasy-wise, a lot of the sharps, whatever, you hear say, they're trying to avoid Saquon because that following year is always a come down year. But meanwhile, he's still going like number 2 and 3 overall. So I think they're lying and they're putting shade low. Like, what are you not going to take Saquon Barkley? Like, it just fit. It's like Derrick Henry in Baltimore. Once you put him behind that offensive line and have like a good offense, you put him where there's life. You get him out of the Giants, you get Henry out of Tennessee. It just fit completely, and the offense was amazing. So. Yeah, I mean, they were an incredible team last year. I believe they only trailed. They ran 68 plays all year where they were down in the fourth quarter. Like they were just always, and that's kind of their style of play. They kind of squeeze the life out of you, with their running style. But they lost Kellen Moore, their offensive coordinator. They replaced him with another Italian, Kevin Petullo. They're just loading up on Italians with Big Dom up there, Nick Fangio. I'm not worried about that, although they did pass him over twice, so that's kind of a little concerning. But I don't know. It's a pretty well-oiled machine. The schedule's tougher, obviously, so the wins will come down. I think just like Kansas City. Like Kansas City, I believe, is going to be a better team, but the record won't be as good, but they'll be playing better just because of how they were in one-score games. Philly was 8-2 in close games. They were very lucky injury-wise, too. I think they were the second healthiest team. So, obviously, there's going to be regression for that. But
sure.
But they should still be good. I mean, they're still obviously one of the top 3 teams in the league, I mean, I think they'll be just fine. As far as fantasy-wise goes, though, I do say, did that 17th round wrap up for you, Mir? Or did you?
Still waiting. You're 2
All
picks
right.
away, right?
Yeah, I'm 2 picks away. We're still in the 16th.
Okay, has Shipley been taken yet? Because he is a guy I think you have to lock in on any draft because he is what they call a league winner. Even if Barkley, they are going to scale him back anyway. They said for rushing on, so he's going to have plenty of opportunities. But God forbid he does get hurt. All of a sudden, Will Shipley is going to be an RB1 on behind this offensive line, which will be one of those prime positions.
Not AJ Dillon.
I don't know what AJ Dillon is. Nobody knows what AJ Dillon is. Like, I guess he's not as big as he used to be. He's not Eddie Lacy, I guess, anymore. Girth wise, as they say, his body progressed. I think is what one announcer said the other day. I like AJ Dillon, but who knows what he is? Shipley is the guy who's least, and he catches passes. He's just more explosive, and I don't know. So I would focus on Shipley more over than AJ Dillon.
All right, I love it.
So, and he is still available. I thought he was taken. But
there you go. Bang. Knock him. Pick him up.
Pick him up.
How about well, just real quick, one more question, I guess, on the Eagles. Then we'll do a quick ad read. We'll bring Moneyline in, talk to him about Washington, then talk to you both about this division. But Dallas Goedert is going late in draft and off the board, but he always feels like such a solid player. Is that too low as the 16th tight end?
I believe it's way low. And there's not too many Eagles you can lock in on because they're all high up, in value as far as fantasy-wise ADP or even betting. The numbers are all just chalk. But Goddard is definitely one of them that I think is going to have a nice big year. His points per game, now he was hurt last year a lot in and out, but when he played, his points per game was right up there like in the top 8 tight end. So, and I actually have it, not to sneak preview one of my bets, but I have him to lead the division in touchdowns. It's like a 40-1 play. He's a guy who depends upon a lot, especially and with the new offensive coordinator, I think it'll be tight end will be definitely utilized more. But Dallas Goedert, especially in fantasy, because when he's playing, you play him and he produces, and if he's hurt, you can just sit him down. So for his ADP, like he's absolutely a steal.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I've seen him a lot of times, 13th, 14th round. It's like, why is he still here? I'm going to take him anyway.
Right.
Like, I have a tight end. I'm taking him because it does feel like a steal. All right. Real quick, before we keep going, got to let you know that we're brought to you by MyBookie. Not going to sing the song as good as CJ does, but I will tell you about MyBookie. It's the place to bet on every sport, including MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course, football futures. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations, easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. And of course, you can bet the CFL there. The Montreal Alouettes put McLeod, Bethel, Thompson on the 6-game list. That's their QB2 now. So they're out QB1, out QB2. They signed Cameron Dukes from the Toronto Argonauts, who is terrible. We all know, if you've listened to me before, I'm an Argonaut hater anyways, but he's terrible. So take BC to rout them this weekend. Just head over to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm's power trends are now smart signals because they're so damn smart. They continue to crush it with smart signals, essentially the best of what their house model has to offer. These are AI detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high return on interest. Think about a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Smart signals are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets. And if you download the Rhythm app, you can jump on WNBA smart signals. There's 97 and 65 in July with a 15.64% return on interest. These are so good that Scott and Adam literally were booted off one of their bookie accounts for winning too much. And MLB is crushing it as well. Mike Trout and Giancarlo Stanton are a combined 14-0 on smart signals, recommending their unders. Whew. That's free money. Download the Rhythm app, check out Smart Signals, and start betting smarter. You know we will be. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right. We already said we had another guest. He is here. He's been on the show before. He's not making his debut like CJ, who who keeps saying, well, I don't know about you guys.
I never get the invite link sent to me. I don't know what it's probably like. I can just stop in. I can just hop into cyberware or something like that. I need access.
Always welcome. I noticed you were in before us because you got the SGP login. So you're always can pop
I got my
in.
soundboard ready just in case I needed to do anything.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
I have all kinds of things. I was ready to run this show.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so me and this next guy, we hosted the NFL Gambling Podcast together until rumor says we gave out so many winners that the books got us canceled. He's a co-host of the College Experience. Pretty sure he's the Providence Friars' #1 enemy. You know him as Moneyline Mac, Ryan McIntyre. How we doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me. And you know me, I'm good at getting canceled on the interwebs. So
absolutely. The Providence Friars fans, have they been after you yet?
No, they don't do football. So, we'll probably resume our rivalry in the winter around the holiday season. I'll probably drop something when they're lost 5 out of 6, and I'll just remind them how bad they are.
That's fair. That's fair. I thought it was fun keeping you back there while CJ talks about how good the Eagles are and they're going to be, because your team, I mean, they were kind of close last year. They were very impressive, a lot better than I think people expected in Jaden Daniels' rookie year. So it was fun keeping you back there. I'm sure you were just stewing like, come on, I got to say something bad about the Eagles, right?
Yeah, I think I muted the computer when I heard like the first 3 sentences of positive. that was enough. I was having nightmares of that NFC title game. But yeah, man, it was the best year of my lifetime as a Skins fan. Yeah. Got the franchise quarterback. He had a historical year. If the defense could have stopped the nosebleed, maybe they could have even hosted the Lombardi Trophy. So unfortunately, there's been a little bit of drama this offseason. That usually happens when you have a little bit of success. So interested to see what happens with the McLaurin situation. But as long as number 5's at quarterback, they're going to have a shot to get back to the playoffs. But yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic because I have not seen him do it back-to-back years in my lifetime. I'm excited. I like Daniels, love Daniels, think he's awesome, but I got to see it back-to-back years. I'm pessimistic.
For sure. I got to flip to our graphic real quick because I thought about this a lot. I'm like, well, we have 2 guests. One's an Eagles fan. One's a Washington fan. Do I pick one of their teams over the other? But I knew that Moneyline would understand picking this with the Packer player laying on the floor. If you're not on YouTube, make sure you get over and see that. I knew he would understand when he saw that.
Yeah, we love the Packers.
So before we talk about, I guess, notice I called him Washington. I didn't say the Commanders because I knew that you would have responded with.
Who are the Commanders? That's not it. Hey, each year, I told you, each year we're getting closer and closer. We got the president involved. I mean, we got everybody.
Oh, my goodness.
Not the first.
Go
ahead, Miranda. No, go ahead, Miranda.
I was going to ask how you became a Skins fan.
Oh shit!
I used the right name. I'm not gonna mess up.
Well done, Miranda. Yes, don't use that C word. It's offensive to me. So I kind of just grew up, and my whole family was Skins fans. Mom and Dad had tickets growing up, so I went to games right when I was 5 years old. And they had just got done at RFK. So I grew up, unfortunately, at FedEx, and then that was all I knew. And I didn't really have a choice. My grandparents were Redskins fans. The whole neighborhood was Redskins fans. And it's kind of, I think everybody saw a little bit of it last year when the fan base came out of the woodworks, whether it was at Tampa Bay or at Detroit. But once upon a time, the Skins fan base was like a juggernaut. And it just has been deserted because of Dan Snyder over the last 20 years. So we're slowly coming back. But yeah, each year a little bit closer to the old name and logo, baby.
I mean, if we talk about the fan base, CJ's DC Defenders, I mean, DC is just, they got passionate fans.
DC Defender fans remind me of the old Redskin fans, to be honest with you. Like, they would come up there to get messed up. They're very passionate and they believe it. It's kind of like a throwback. Are the old Hogs still alive? I don't mean the real Hogs. I mean the Hogs in the stands that would wear the dresses. Talk about getting canceled nowadays. Gender fluid, for crying out loud.
I haven't seen the Hogs since, man, the mid 2010s. Yeah.
Right.
Like the RG3 team. Maybe they came back for a minute when Kirk Cousins was there. when they got to the playoffs. But yeah, they've been deserted. The
That's a
COVID
shame.
killed the Hogs.
COVID.
Yeah, COVID and the Hogs are not a good tandem. That's for
Bad
sure.
combo.
All right, Ryan. Well, walk us through some of the changes that Washington made, why that defense might be better, why we should be excited about them.
Well, I would start on the offensive side first. Is that offensive line was an issue last year, and they went out and got Tunsil from the Houston Texans and Debo from the Niners. So he comes over, reunites with his former GM, and now another option. I guess glad that they went out and got him because McLaurin's MIA.
Debo's not going to play on the offensive line because I saw some pictures of him there, and he looked like he got a little bit bigger there. But
he doesn't get paid till Thanksgiving. You know, he'll tweak his hammy mid-October and be out, and then he'll come in for the stretch run. So. But yeah, I mean, you mentioned the defense. They bring in guys like Trey Amos and guys like Javon Kinlaw, Eddie Goldman, and Wise Jr. So the defense should be better. It can't be any worse. That's for damn sure. But like, they don't have to be a top unit if they can be a bend but don't break unit. It also will be Lattimore's second year in the system.
Sure.
I know he just likes to fight everybody instead of actually guard somebody at times. But, yeah, I think that they'll take a little bit of a step. Just year 2 of the system with Dan Quinn.
Yeah. You mentioned Eddie Goldman. He's probably going to be really good because it seems like past Bears players who are with us for a cup of tea, they move on. We say, yeah, he's no good. Then they do really well. That's just how it seems to work. So he might be good for you.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes with bad franchises. They get rid of people, and then all of a sudden they're Pro Bowlers. So yeah, I used to know what that felt like, but it seems the tide's turning.
Yeah, there you go. Well, let's talk a little bit about fantasy football. Yeah. I mean, obviously Jaden Daniels, he's going as the third quarterback off the board. He's a stud. Now, Miranda and I get into an argument about this a lot because I bring it up. She has brought the stats to say it's not a real thing, but are you worried about the sophomore slump?
Yeah, a little bit, just because I saw the sophomore slumps in RG3. I mean, he went from top 5 fantasy quarterback to just getting benched for Kirk Cousins. So, but I think his version of a sophomore slump will be like what Stroud's was. Stroud still was a solid quarterback, but I also think Daniels is better than Stroud. So I think that it'll be potentially a little bit more regression with more film. Cliff Kingsbury, we'll see if he can put back-to-back years together. But I think he's just so talented, and he's just got such a good feel. They got to keep him healthy, and if they could keep his mom away, like not over there, not around 24/7, I'd be in favor of that too.
Right.
That's great.
Looking at running back for fantasy, I've been picking up Brian Robinson in a lot of my leagues.
Yeah.
But he's going at like an ADP of around like 29 for running backs right now, which I think is I don't know why he's going
I love Brian
down
Robinson.
there.
I don't know.
But why do you think he's I feel like it's disrespectful that he's going so low. Why do you think he's so I don't know.
Maybe because Daniels just took so much production away from him, but you can't go wrong with the guy that got shot and was back 4 weeks later.
Right?
He's tough as nails, man. He's a badass. I mean, he had 8 touchdowns last year. The volume was down compared to other years, but that also comes with Daniels having such a heavy workload.
Yeah. All right. So let's say I don't think Scary Terry's going anywhere, to be honest. But let's say he does. Let's say Debo gets hurt like he has in the past. Who are we taking a flyer on in fantasy football as a wide receiver?
You know, I was high when they drafted this guy. I think Luke McCaffrey, year number 2. I think he's a guy. He good route runner out of Rice. He actually played quarterback at Rice, so another one of those former quarterbacks that slides into the slot. And I just think that he always finds a way to get open, and he flashed in the preseason. At times, it felt like he should have played more, but they also just had McLaurin, and he was so productive. So I would say McCaffrey. Noah Brown's also solid. I mean, he got some production last year, but the main guy I think in the red zone that will take Terry's targets will be CJ will love this, Zach Ertz, baby.
Yeah, Zach Ertz. Yeah, just wonder. It's amazing how he keeps producing at this age. You know what I mean? At this age, because he was like, I mean, I remember before he even went to Arizona, when and Philly's like, yeah, okay, it's time for him to go. It's fine, you know, great career, with no bad wishes. But this son of a bitch just keeps on producing, and Washington was so good on fourth down last year. It was like crazy, like 80% or 82%. Half of that, I think, was, or the majority of it was Jaden Daniels and his legs and be able to convert that on fourth and short. But the other was Zach Ertz. Like, you hit Zach Ertz, I mean, he is picking up that first down no matter what. It's incredible watching him at this age.
Yeah, and you mentioned it with like having a security blanket. If McLaurin was the other security blanket, if you lose one, you're probably going to lean on the other one more. I think it's going to take time with Debo. I mean, and not to mention he'll probably get hurt at one point. But
sure. Yeah. What's the word about Jalen Lane out there? He went to the old Hokie.
He got some work the other night, but I would think that he's going to get a little bit.
Right.
I think he's going to make the team. I mean, he was a fourth round pick, so I mean, there's reps out there, but I also think he could be more like McCaffrey his rookie year, where he kind of waits his turn, learns the system, and then gets an opportunity. I think McCaffrey's more the guy than Lane.
Okay, all right.
I like McCaffrey. It's in his genes, right? Yeah. I mean, obviously Christian Ed McCaffrey. I like the Noah Brown thing too, because they made a point to re-sign him, I believe, right?
Yeah, he was with the Cowboys too when Quinn was there. So they brought a couple guys from the Cowgirls over, and yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about that? I'm looking at Gallup is on that roster too, for crying out loud. I don't like them infiltrating over there. Not my watch. That's not my NFC East.
You know, anything. It's like the transfer portal. Anything goes nowadays.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so we're going to talk more about the Cowboys and Giants in depth after we get you guys out of here, because I don't want to keep you on all night. I know you got stuff to do, but got some couple questions regarding these other two teams, the stepchildren that nobody wants in the division, I suppose.
Are either of you worried about the Cowboys offense being better? You know, they have the addition of George Pickens. Do you feel they're a threat to either of your teams? CJ, I'm going to start with you. And then
are the Cowboys a threat? Of course not. They're the Cowboys. It doesn't matter what they do. Jerry Jones is there in front of a Netflix red carpet saying how he loves for this to be a soap opera, and he doesn't care about winning. He says the quiet part out loud now. He's so senile. Like we said, no matter what science, forget Elon making these rocket ships, put everything into keeping this man alive so he can ruin the Cowboys for another 20 years. Their offense, with Dak healthy, they will put up some numbers, but their D is still bad. Their running back situation is still terrible. I think what are going with Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. CeeDee Lamb and Pickens will be interesting. They'll put up numbers, but never worried about the Cowboys.
I mean, what is worry that they may slide in as like the 7th seed?
Right.
I think they could go 9-8, maybe. When Dak is healthy, they usually tend to win 9 or 10 games, but they'll find a way to fuck it up in the playoffs. They always do. So it's in terms of like an actual threat to win the NFC. No, never worried, as long as the old man's there just saying whatever he says.
You know, I
was
going to say, if I were you guys, I would be hoping Dak stays healthy, because I legitimately think Joe Milton is a stud. Their backup quarterback. I mean,
he's
got a huge arm.
Maybe he'd be great at punt pass kick competition. Maybe I don't know if about him like actually being the quarterback. I actually like Dak Prescott, and not even as a quarterback. I like that he's the Cowboys quarterback. You know, like you said, and like how he chokes in the playoffs. But even as a dude, like, he seems like a good person. His worst quality he has is that he's the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. Don't forget, everybody, to stick around. At the end of the show, Miranda will be ranking the quarterbacks by looks, as we've been doing each division. So we'll see where Dak falls on your list.
Jalen Hurts has to be one. Even if you say Jaden Daniels, his mom will beat you up for even looking at him.
Well, what about Mr. Unlimited?
Yeah, right.
That's
he's
true. That's true. Unlimited's got a nice, and he's got the wife to prove it. So
this is it's actually an entertaining quarterback division. Now with Wilson coming in and Dak coming back healthy, and then Daniels, and then obviously Hurts. So yeah, it's a good quarterback division.
The Giants quarterback room alone with Winston and Jackson Dart. Like, how is that not the Netflix show? Get a camera in that room.
DeVito.
Right, of course. Tommy DeVito. Everybody eats they.
Yeah, I love watching any Jameis Winston clips anytime he's talking.
It's incredible.
Entertaining.
He's a treasure.
Yeah. Going back to the Cowboys, they've been referred to for way too long, in my opinion. I'm sure, definitely in your guys' opinion, as America's team. I think it's safe to say they are no longer America's team. In fact, Moneyline's organization came out and said that they are America's team in the capital there. Can each of you make the case of why your team is America's team? Ryan, we'll start with you this time.
If they go back to the name and bring back the logo, you're going to see people that weren't even Redskins fans that will jump in and be a part of the movement, baby. Yes.
Yeah.
That's how we become America's team and overtake them. I will say, I will give Jerry Jones credit. As bad, he doesn't care about wins. He does find a way to run a hell of a business. That's how they've kept that fake title, just because he's good at selling. He's a businessman. He's a salesman. He's full of shit.
Yeah. How about you, CJ? I mean, they did just take down the T-Swifts and
the Chiefs.
Yeah, anyone that makes Taylor Swift cry is America's real team, first of all. I mean, anyone that ends that dynasty, because in order to do that, in order to take down a franchise, someone beautiful, you need someone to bring them down in the dirt. And that's what Philly did. Like we were the perfect man for the job. Like, we'll handle this. We don't mind if an icon cries, Like, so in that sense, Philly's definitely America's team. We got people, we have to grease the poles after they win. They have a jail in the stadium. They're eating horse shit out of celebration. We are the idiots that is America. Now, Mac does have a point, though. If they do change the name back to the Redskins, that is exactly the personification of, like, they don't even know why they like it. They just know it makes other people angry. Fans. Right, not even football fans, but it makes other people angry. Let's go. Let me buy all the shirts I can.
That storming the Capitol was bad. They're going to be storming FedEx Field.
Oh, man. I want to shift gears to the Giants really quick. I don't necessarily think they're a threat in the division with Russ Wilson as QB. And they also, I think they have a really tough schedule this year.
They do.
However, their defense on paper does look good. And I didn't think that Jackson Dart looked that bad in his preseason action. Are either of you concerned about the Giants competing in the next couple of years?
Well, go ahead, Ryan.
I kind of think the Giants are going to be a chippy 7-win team this year, maybe even 8. I kind of I think that Dayball, I know Kramer and Green go back and forth on Dayball. They go back and forth on
right.
Giants Eagles, but I think he's a pretty good coach. I think he's maximized shitty rosters in the past, so I kind of like the Giants with an improved room without Daniel Jones and really good in the trenches to kind of be competitive this year.
Yeah, for sure. As far as a couple of years, they kind of built this team with a high floor just because Dable wants to save his job. Like, we need this to win games. They needed 7 or 8 wins. But that defensive line, is absolutely incredible. And especially when you add Abdul Carter this year, apparently he is the absolute real deal, as every report says about it. Like, he's just a freak. I'm going to have some futures on him. But yeah, and then they signed whoever last year, like that whole, and they have Lawrence. I mean, that D line's for real. It's I don't know if it's as good as when they won Super Bowls, but they do have talent across the board there.
Yeah, absolutely. Nick Fortune has a question. I think he forgot to put off in here, but how many people are planning on pissing during the football season? I think he means pissing off during the football season on Twitter.
I've already started. If I give any unders on these teams, I had one fan yell at me last night. He said the floor is 10-2. I said, Well, the win total's 8.5. So if the floor is 10-2, you should put your life savings on.
Yeah. I don't think Nick Fortune made a typo. I think he meant that. How many people is Ryan going to be actually pissing on Twitter?
Well, me and Diego Pavia will be pissing on everybody in the SEC. Fake ass schedules.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Ryan, to your point, I like the Giants to go over their win total as well. Some people came at me at the chat saying, point out the 5 wins they're going to get or whatever. But I think that defensive line is going to be good enough that'll keep them in games. And Russell Wilson, for all the hate he gets, he's not a terrible quarterback. Like he's a safe quarterback. I feel like he plays safe. So I think they could squeak out some wins and surprise people.
He doesn't create plays the way he used to when he was at his peak, but he does keep it safe. He doesn't really turn it over.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he is competent. And once Scadaboo gets going, come October, I mean, that is when talk about someone that can take over a city. You get Tommy. Do you think they like doing Tommy DeVito crazy? Wait a Scadaboo. What do you say? A white running back barreling over people. A guy used to run into telephone poles growing up as a kid.
I just saw him on Amon-Ra Brown's podcast, and they're quizzing him on photos of older players, like Calvin Johnson or whatever, and he knew none of them. He's like, no idea.
I bet he wouldn't know pictures of people in his own locker room, though. He just seems like a blockhead, like, no matter what, in a great way. Exactly how you want your running back,
I know you keep drafting him in a lot. I keep noticing in drafts, it's like Cam Scadaboo goes off, and I look, it was Miranda drafted him. Got a lot of Scadaboo shares.
I do.
Passing over your own Hawkeye, Tyrone Tracy.
Yeah. Let's talk about some bets, because I know you guys are both well-versed in bets. Let's talk about bets for the NFC East. What looks good? You guys can alternate. You can give out all yours, CJ, and then we'll go to Ryan. There are no rules on old-fashioned football, but CJ, let's kick it off.
Well, I just mentioned Abdul Carter. You can get him still at DraftKings here to lead the league in sacks at 55-1. Ooh. And just in case he's just in case he's a freak, I know he's a rookie, but like we said, you can't double him. They're not going to be doubling him. He's the one they're going to be letting go for a while, at least until they realize how much of a problem he is because of that defensive line, because of Dexter Lawrence and everyone else they have on there. So at 55-1, I wouldn't go defensive player of the year. His rookie of the year is like 2-1. That's not worth it. But to lead the league in sacks, why not toss a sprinkle on that at 55-1?
Yeah, that's juicy.
So what if I told you there's a 20-year sample size run that's plus 115? I'll fade the Eagles, and I'll take the field to win the NFC East. The Eagles, when they won the Super Bowl in 2017, they were a wild card the next year. 2 years ago, they got to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. They were a wild card the next year.
Yep.
Just give me the Skins, Cowboys, or Giants to win it. I still think the Eagles make the playoffs, but nobody has repeated the NFC
It's amazing.
since 2004. So I'll go plus 115. Give me the field against the Eagles.
So what are the Skins price? I can't believe you're not just taking them.
We might be a wild card. I don't know yet. The Cowboys might win the division and then choke in the playoffs. That's what the Cowboys do.
That would be very Cowboys. Get themselves a bye, get that 1 seed, go 14-3 or whatever, and then get absolutely crushed like they did versus the Packers when Dak just threw all those pick sixes. That's a great bet, actually.
It's going to be actually against Caleb Williams and the Bears. That's who they're going to choke against. But
oh boy.
All right, CJ, what you got next?
One more, another sprinkle. AJ Brown has recently said he's the best receiver in football, and he wants to put a stamp on it this year. I don't totally agree with it, but I like someone who's delusional like that as well. As my diva receiver, he recently said he thinks the earth is flat. I also like that. Any kind of conspiracy theory, that's what I want on my diva receiver. A fun bet, 60-1 to win the Triple Crown, which is catches, yards, and touchdowns. Now, he only played 13 games last year, so he was 1,200 yards. But the 2 years before that, he had 1,500 yards and 1,450. So, and I think they're going to have to throw the ball more this year. There's a kind of a point of emphasis how, Hurts has been disrespected. You're going to be loading the box. You're giving Saquon, obviously, less touches to preserve himself a little bit. So I think they're going to focus on throwing it. And why not? A.J. Brown, he's just as good as any one of those number one receivers. Need to get a little lucky, but at 60-1, it's a fun sprinkle.
Yeah, for sure. What do you got, Ryan?
I'll go with this win total right here. I'm with you, JMark. This is simple. I'm taking the Giants over 5.5 wins. I love taking coaches with their back against the wall where they usually maximize, and CJ laid it out. The floor's high. They got vets at the QB position. I mean, if Wilson goes down, Jameis has been able to step in and win games defensively. It kind of reminds you like the Ron Rivera Skins teams. They win 7-8 games and they're irrelevant, but they'll stay in the hunt just long enough not to make the playoffs. But yeah, over 5.5 wins. So yeah, I faded the Eagles in the other one, so Green will fire me. But then I got to get Kramer's side, so give me the Giants over, even it out.
Yeah, Nino Pena saying Giants 5.5 is fire. I agree.
It is.
One last question for you guys. What book is AJ Brown going to be reading on the sidelines this offseason? It's going to be a flat earther book, right?
Right. It'll be an online periodical. I'm looking at Inner Excellence right now, and I'd say the Spring King, Luis Perez, got his sales back up, going up there. An inspiration, how to learn from YouTube and become a 500 quarterback in the UFL in a league that's defunct. One quick bet I got to toss in there: Dallas Cowboys to finish 4th in the division, plus 280. I mean, just out of respect, I make that bet. Come on.
You would find a way to bring up Luis Perez on Old Fashioned Football.
Yes,
just to
sir.
spite me, get me going. I completely understand. Appreciate you both coming on. It's always fun talking with both of you. Before I get you out of here, CJ, let everybody know, obviously, Bottom Line Bombs. You're going over team previews. Let us know what's going on there. And do you have any stand-ups planned anytime soon?
Sure, I do. I'm not doing Cedar Rapids Penguins anytime soon, but I will let you know when I am there. I'm in Ontario Improv in a couple weeks. I will be in Vegas for sign-up weekend with SGPN next weekend. Of course, the Bottom Line Bombs, going through the team previews, going through everything else. And then I will be joining Moneyline Mac and Colby come college football season for the picks episodes. We just started booking. Week 0 is what, next week?
Yeah, next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. Yes. So let's pop in. So that's what it's going to be.
All right. Moneyline, obviously, as CJ just previewed on the college experience, let everybody know what you got going on and why you're going to pick Iowa State to win their conference. I almost said division, thinking NFL. Win their conference.
Iowa or Iowa State?
No. I don't have any delusions that Iowa are going to. I think Iowa State could be this. They got Anthony Beck's kid. They got to be good.
Hey, what we need an Iowa State national championship. That it's not happening in Iowa, baby. Yeah, the college experience. We are on preview 106 out of 136.
Incredible.
I promise you, we will get to the finish line. But yeah, come join the party next Wednesday for the pick show. It'll be a shit show.
You gonna make it over there?
Congratulations, man! Way to hang in there, man. Get better, get well soon as well. Amazing work by that.
Thank you guys both for jumping on. We're gonna keep talking about the filthy Cowboys, the Giants. Cheers to you guys, and take it easy.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah. Cheers. And all right. That wrong button. Sorry about that, guys. All right, here
we go. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Before we keep going, I got to let you know that we are brought to you by the Circa Million and Circa Survivor, the world's greatest sports book. Circa Las Vegas is hosting the world's biggest pro football contest, Circa Million, Circa Survivor, and Circa Grandissimo, with over $21 million in guaranteed prizes. You can't call yourself a true DGen if you're not competing in the Circa football contest. Plus, CJ and Moneyline, they just mentioned that they're going to be out there in Vegas August 21st through 22nd for an amazing weekend, including live shows and open bars. You need to get better quick. Maybe we'll crash that party. Plus, you get 15% off a stay at the Circa with promo code SGP15. The contests are open to everyone. Sign up in Nevada and play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com and use promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. Miranda?
I'm going to do my best here.
I was going to ask if you wanted me to take over.
I've got this. You're not stealing Underdog. We are also brought to you by Underdog. Underdog Fantasy Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. There's no waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football. Underdog is also a great place to play Pick'em. And Justin will keep giving out some CFL picks and NFL preseason picks on our socials. So don't forget to subscribe and go sign up with promo code OFFSGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus credits. That's underdogfantasy.com, promo code OFFSGPN.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
You made it.
I made it.
You made
barely.
it. Barely.
Like dying over here.
Always fun talking with those guys.
It was.
They are a hoot, of course. And make sure you go check their stuff out because their podcasts, they are fire. I always hop in the Bottom Line Bombs when I can. It's fun hopping into the chat, listening to CJ, and then the college experience when they I'm excited CJ is going to be on that because that you hop in the chat there and it's insane. It's crazy. It just is like just the chat is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We got 2 more teams to cover. Let's power through them real quick because I know how it is when you're sick. I'm sure
and the worst part is like this, like I hate it, like it's not convenient now either, but when you are sick or you just got over being sick, or maybe you weren't even sick, but you're in public and you get that like scratch to the back of your throat and then you start dying, and it usually happens in a grocery store. And like right after COVID was the worst time for it to happen.
Right, because everybody gave you the worst
Yes,
luck.
and like you try to suppress it. Like when you try to suppress it, it just makes it worse, and then you start crying. I have tears running down my face during that last fit.
I thought it was just you were so happy to talk with those guys that you were getting emotional.
It was the having to say goodbye and just start crying, guys. Get emotional. I'm sorry, I don't do goodbyes well.
That's fair.
But it's happened to me. This is the second time on the show today that has happened, and it's like you get like panic. Like you have to control this.
Yeah.
Get it under control. We're not going to cough. We're not going to do this.
You're right though. The right after COVID,
yes,
when
it was
you would
the
go
worst.
in, the first time you go in without the mask, you're like. And then you're like, oh
my God.
And people are like,
everybody starts like, who's doing this?
Or the first flight after COVID when you just get the dry air.
Well, and you don't even have to be sick to get that scratch at the back of your throat.
No.
And then you like have that coughing fit and nothing helps it.
I remember in a theater when I took a drink or a bite of something and I swallowed wrong, and then I'm coughing.
A dine-in, one of the dine-in theaters after.
Yeah, and I was and I'm like, oh, I'm not sick, I promise. Just can't. I don't know how to swallow
judgy,
properly.
Like, you shouldn't be out here.
Right. Anyways.
All right, let's get back on track.
Okay. Talk about the Cowboys.
Yeah, they're up next. Some of their offseason changes. They resigned former USFL and stud wide receiver and kick returner.
Yeah.
Cavante Turpin. Some other ads that running back Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. They have edge rusher Dante Fowler and Peyton Turner.
Yeah.
Defensive tackle Solomon Thomas.
Former Jaguar. I believe he was a first round pick.
Was he?
He was a 49er as well at one point. But anyway.
Okay. And then guard Robert Jones, cornerback Kyer Elam, linebacker Kenneth Murray. They also, we already spoke about this, or I did a little bit. They traded for wide receiver George Pickens.
Yeah.
I feel like that was probably the biggest move for them.
Yeah, agreed.
They at running back, they lost Rico Dowdle. They lost their edge rusher DeMarcus Lawrence, guard Zach Martin, and Brandon Cooks at wide receiver.
Yeah, I forgot he wasn't there anymore.
Yeah.
For the draft, they kind of made smart moves in the draft. They drafted the best player available. They usually tend to reach on guys that end up busting, but they drafted guard Tyler Booker, edge rusher Donovan Izaruaku. I don't know if I said it right, but I'll say
we're going to say yes.
Izaruaku. Cornerback Siobhan Revel out of ECU, and running back Jadon Blue, who I think could get involved in the running back room. But the biggest story, I guess, right now is their top defensive player, Mike Parsons, still doesn't have a long-term deal. He is demanding a long-term deal. Maybe he's asking nicely, but it seems more like a demand. You got, CJ alluded to the fact that you got Jerry Jones saying like, well, as long as people are talking about us, it's good. We don't care if it's bad publicity. All publicity is good. He literally said today or yesterday that if people aren't talking about them, he will do something so that they will talk about the Cowboys, even if it's bad. You're not supposed to say that out loud.
You really aren't.
but he did. A lot of their off-season moves, though, they felt more like 1-year fill-ins and depth chart fillers. Besides George Pickens, there were not a lot of studs. Dante Fowler, they could get some value out of him, but otherwise, besides Pickens, once again, it was kind of a quiet offseason for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about fantasy.
Obviously, we've got Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
ADP of, I think, 13 right now.
Mm-hmm.
When he's healthy, he's actually a decent fantasy option for as much shit as our network gives the Cowboys. I think for the first time in a while, he's going to have 2 stud receiving options with Lamb and Pickens.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out Channing Brown. Let's go.
Hello.
Channing, you just missed CJ Sullivan talking about the Eagles and Moneyline Mac talking about the Commanders. But welcome.
Yes.
And cheers. We got a Japanese whiskey today, not a Canadian one.
Let's talk about running backs here.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say who's going to have the most carries by the end of the season.
Yeah.
Though I think reports right now have Javonte Williams, who's ADP of 38.
Mm-hmm.
They have him ahead of Miles Sanders. Sanders is going at an ADP of 70.
So nobody believes in him.
Exactly. That tells you a lot there. But then their rookie, Jadon Blue, he's right in between them, closer to Javonte at an ADP of 44. And I think mainly they're banged up. Right?
Yeah, they are banged up.
I think we're going to end up seeing a mix of Williams and Blue. I think I'm good drafting either of them in the later rounds. Later down the road.
Don't be like the Cowboys and reach for them.
No.
But absolutely later.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give your voice a break. I'm going to talk about wide receivers
and
tight ends for you.
I'm on the verge of having another coughing fit. Please don't do this to me.
So they obviously have CeeDee Lamb. He is going at an ADP of 3. Scares me a little bit, especially when Dak does have some injury history here. And then George Pickens, ADP of 29. I think they're both going to be studs, but when you look at their ADP, I actually like grabbing George Pickens better because, if you wait till the 29th wide receiver, you're right over there, you're killing me.
Sorry. Whew,
yeah. And then tight end Jake Ferguson has an ADP of 13. Jake Ferguson's a solid tight end. We had Serial. We've had him in the chat talking about how good Fergie Ferg is. I think he's going to be open probably a little bit more when you have to cover both CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. But I do think his ADP of 13 is probably appropriate, just outside the top 12. He might sneak into the top 12, but I don't know if you want to risk that necessarily.
I don't
know. I noticed when we said goodbye to CJ and Ryan, we were saying our goodbyes. The dog, who's always
it's over.
Yeah.
She normally waits for the music.
She does, but she was like, well, I'm getting the vibe that it's over.
We're saying goodbye.
And she jumped down.
Closing
and she's
time.
She's nudging now. Like, are you guys done? You done yet?
Not yet.
Anyways, let's talk about the Giants, who Moneyline and I and CJ some too, a little higher than the public right now on them.
A little bit. Some other offseason changes, just to kind of recap those. They added Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, cornerback Paulson Adebo. Yep. Safety Javon Holland. Yep. They lost their quarterback Adoree Jackson, and then they drafted the best edge rusher in the draft.
Yeah. Sorry, I was gonna say you heard CJ say you can get him for most sacks.
Mm-hmm.
What did he say? That was 55 to 1.
I'm not memory here right now.
Okay, yeah, I believe he said
I'm really good at
1.
numbers too. And
I know.
Right now, there's just
55
no
to 1 to lead the league in sacks.
Yes. Abdul Carter.
Yeah. Former Penn State Nittany
Mm-hmm.
Lion.
They also drafted quarterback Jackson Dart, defensive tackle Darius Alexander, and then Cam Scattaboo at running back.
Who we talked about a little bit. I think the Giants are going to have, we said it already, a scary defense. Carter is going to be a stud.
Yep.
Don't know how powerful their offense will be, but I trust Wilson to stay competitive. He's had one season, his first year with the Broncos, which was a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only season he's lost less than 5.5 games, which is their win total. I don't think he's going to get there. Let's just talking about Russell Wilson. Let's switch right into the fantasy football.
Right.
everybody's going to be wondering, is Jackson Dart going to be the starter?
Russ has been sat like with every team. He gets benched.
Not every team, but
since he moved to Denver.
Yeah, he got benched in Denver.
He got
benched. Well, actually, they did start him in Pittsburgh after he was injured, but because it was him and Fields.
Yeah, but they were. I know, but they
both played.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Russ.
I swear he got benched though, and they threw Fields in even when he wasn't injured once.
I don't think so. But
am I making that up?
Maybe.
Am I making?
You
it
might
up?
be. That might be your sick brain.
Okay.
But Russ Wilson is going at ADP of 30.
Yep.
That's only one spot ahead of Shedeur Sanders, who I don't believe will be the starter. It's 2 spots ahead of Jackson Dart, who I don't think will be the starter. I mean, Daboll has said Russ Wilson is our starter.
Yeah, I just think that shows you that people think he's not going to remain.
I guess. I just think he deserves more respect than that. That's all.
Potentially.
Do you like their running backs? I know we already talked about you've been drafting a lot of Cams.
Yeah, I will say Tyrone Tracy, he did have some good games last year. He's going at that ADP of 30 for running backs. I think he'll still carry the ball as their like early back and short yardage, but I do think that Scatterboo, who's going at just 3 spots lower at ADP of 33, I do think he's going to get involved.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see him get involved in that pass catching game.
Yeah.
I honestly just think he's too talented to keep off the field.
Mm-hmm.
I think Daboll will know how to use him, and that's why I've been drafting him. Like you keep saying, the drafts we're in together.
Yeah,
you keep seeing him go off the board, and it's me. I know. I just have this feeling.
Well, before the draft, we talked about Cam Scatterboo with Colby Dant because that was one player he said he was most excited to see how he does in the NFL. And he mentioned if you got a guy like Andy Reid is his example that knows how to use those players, Brian Daboll's kind of like that. He knows how to use those players. So I agree. I think that could be a good move for him. Here's what confuses me about Russ Wilson at ADP of 30.
Okay.
Malik Neighbors, their stud wide receiver. He's going as wide receiver 4.
Which is, you're not going to have him that high if their quarterback isn't performing.
Right. Unless they think it's going to be half Wilson, half Dart.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. With Wilson going at the ADP of 30, people don't think he's going to remain the starter.
Yeah. I do. I think he's going to be good enough to remain the starter for 1 year. Russ picked the Giants because he watched film on these teams that he was in talks with, and Malik Neighbors stood out.
Mm-hmm.
So Russ is going to get him the ball. He loves this guy, obviously. I don't know if he's the 4th pick at wide receiver, to be honest. That's going ahead of a guy like Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I think it's too high for him.
I agree. In his sophomore year here.
Mm-hmm.
A very talented dude. Top 10 wide receiver? Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
But number 4, I'm not sure.
I think it's too high, especially because just that quarterback question mark.
Yeah. Yeah. The other receivers, Wan'Dale Robinson at 71, Darius Slayton at 79.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously they think that Malik Neighbors is the only one.
He's the only one we're drafting that early.
Right. I kind of like both of those guys as late round flex pieces. Wan'Dale, he's been banged up, but he has shown some flash and potential. And Darius Slayton has just been a solid dude for them. So I kind of like that. We probably don't need to spend too much time talking about their tight ends.
No. Theo Johnson's going on an ADP of 35 for tight end.
Yeah.
Honestly, like it's just they're not going to be super relevant.
I don't think he will be. No, I don't. Yeah. Nope.
All right. Do we want to get into your NFC East bets, Justin?
Yeah. I'll have to hit the guys up, see what they think of this. If you didn't see it, Channing mentioned he's going to rewatch to check those guests out. If you did miss it, absolutely go check out the bets they gave out because those are fire. Obviously, CJ's were some long shots. Moneyline's a little
I
safer,
like the long shots,
but
they're fun.
Yeah, I like the balance of both. And mine's not going to be as long a shot as CJ's. Maybe my cojones are not as big. We're not going to compare. But my long shot bet would be Philadelphia Eagles to score 1+ rushing touchdown in every single regular season game. They got Jalen Hurts with the tush push. They got Saquon Barkley or Will Shipley, as CJ mentioned, if Barkley gets hurt. That's 6-1 for 1+ touchdown in every game. That feels really solid. And then kind of a safer bet, Eagles versus Commanders. You can get the series to be tied. They obviously play each other twice in the division. Tied 1-1 is +125. And the Commanders, they stick around and they're annoying to the Eagles, it seems like. So, yeah, I mean, I like both those. Those are my two. I won't give out any more because we had the guys give out some. But anything else you want to say about any of those teams?
No, let's get to the whiskey, and
Let's get to the whiskey.
I'll recap a little bit on the whiskey while you pour.
Okay. Well, real quick here, if you're on YouTube, you see our beautiful new graphic, if I do say so myself, and you can see the bottle too of the Nika coffee grain whiskey. So, yeah, I'll give a little bit of a pour here. Let everybody know what we're drinking.
Right. Yeah. So, well, we just saw it, but I'll say it again. We're drinking the Nika coffee grain whiskey made by Nika Whiskey in Japan. And did you just say the coffee with a Y?
What?
That it's coffee with a Y?
I didn't say that.
Okay. Well, see, sick brain here. I was like, wait, I swear you just said this.
So.
But I was gonna go into like because looking at like their label, like it's coffee, like COFFEY, not coffee. Like whenever I hear this, I think of coffee, but I have to it's Japanese whiskey.
And if you don't mind, I'll jump in here and
I'll
take over.
Take over. You're like, just shut up, Mer.
No, that's good because I asked for this as a gift. We were watching a auction of alcohol. I decided that I was not going to bid on this one. And so, my parents had been asking for birthday gift ideas anyways. So I said, ooh, coffee grain whiskey. That sounds interesting because I love coffee. I didn't say that to him, but that's in my head. I was like, I love coffee. That coffee grain whiskey sounds interesting.
But you saw that how it was spelled.
It didn't register.
How does that not register?
I don't know.
When you see it, how does that not register that that's not coffee?
Because I'm stupid. I don't know. But anyways, it is coffee with a Y. Not like the coffee you drink. It's named after the coffee still, which is the world's first patented continuous still invented by Anus Coffee way back in 1830.
Invented by what?
Anus. Aeneas. Not anus. I'm so sorry.
This is not going well.
Aeneas coffee, not anus coffee.
Can you stop? You said anus twice. So let's just not.
All right. No anus in this. It's Aeneas.
Aeneas.
Aeneas coffee. Sorry. Thank you for catching that. Back in 1830. Wow. This is why you do that.
You're off to a great start with the history and background. I just so appreciate you going over this lovely information for me.
You're gonna appreciate it in a second here because I gotta let you know. Back in 1919, Masataka Takatsuru, when he was in Scotland.
Masataka Takatsuru.
Okay, never mind. When he was in Scotland, he had the opportunity to learn how to distill using the coffee still. And how to distill grain whiskey on it from craftsman James Calder. Masataka became the president of Nika Whiskey in 1943, but back then they were Day Nippon Kaju Company, and they didn't change their name until 1952 to Nika Whiskey Distilling. And he just loved this, and he installed the 2 sets of coffee stills right or after he established Nika Whiskey he installed one in 63 and one in 66. Now the thing is they're not easy to operate and they're not very efficient to get spirits out of either. So you would think, why are you doing that? Well, they retain flavors originating from the ingredients. So rather than, a lot of whiskey, no matter what you use, a lot of it has that similar profile, but it goes through these changes when it's doing the whole scientific thingy, I like to call it. With the coffee still, it kind of goes back to the grain. It takes an ode to the grain kind of, and it gives the whiskey a distinct texture. With the coffee stills, Nika Whiskey makes both the coffee grain whiskey and the coffee malt whiskey. We're obviously drinking the coffee grain whiskey. Mm-hmm. Now, ironically, when they started, they first made apple juice back in 1935. But in 1936, I think they must have been like, who the fuck wants apple juice? Let's start making whiskey. And so they started manufacturing whiskey and they launched their first bottled product in 1940. This is a signature grain whiskey released back in 2012 originally. It's mainly made from corn. And then you got to remember, bourbon in the States, and it's got to be new American oak. It can't have anything else in it. This is aged in previously used casks, but they re-char them. So I think that's interesting. You get some of the char flavor, but also probably some of the old bourbon flavor.
Burnt bourbon.
Yeah, absolutely. So, let's give this a try. Let's talk about the bottle real quick. I know something that's going to probably throw the score off right away. And that is that it's a plastic twist cap.
Yeah, I hate plastic.
I know.
And I don't like twist caps. That's one of the things with Weller, that they have twist caps on their whiskey. Are you kidding me?
I knew that was going to get you right away.
But a plastic one, at least Wellers are metal. I don't know.
Yeah. The bottle's probably not going to get a huge score. I put it back up on the screen too for y'all to see.
The bottle's nothing special. It is like colored glass. It's what?
Almost got a green hue to it.
Greenish brown? I can't tell. Gray? Greenish gray?
I don't see colors well, but
no, you're colorblind. What color is the label?
Pink.
Pinkish
salmon.
Red. Salmon. Yeah.
See?
Okay.
I know some stuff.
You're like, I'm wrong.
I was gonna say it almost matches my shirt.
Well,
it
your
doesn't
shirt's
match
a
my
rust
shirt
red.
at all.
It doesn't match. Jeez. No.
The twist cap makes it a 2 for me for the bottle.
It's like a squatty wine bottle with a twist cap.
Yeah.
I would do a 1.5 on the
Woo.
bottle.
She's sick and great and tough, people.
It's not a 1 because it's like colored glass.
Yeah.
If it was clear glass, it'd get an automatic 1.
I'm very annoyed, by the way.
Why?
I don't know if you've noticed me getting lower during the show. The hydraulics keep just going out a little bit, and it's really annoying. You might have to rely on me on the smell and the taste on this because you're sick, which is scary for people.
Fingernail polish remover.
Really?
Which is not a good characteristic.
I don't get that.
Hold on.
It is okay.
I smell acetone.
It's very alcohol forward. You
I
are right.
smell acetone. I can't pick up any grain. All I smell is acetone.
To me, I smell corn whiskey, like a strong corn whiskey, almost like a moonshine corn whiskey. And I think that's why you're getting acetone, because it's like a strong.
No, my nose is shot. I feel like I could go take the polish off of my toes with this.
Don't waste alcohol like that. What do you have a score for the nose?
I can't. I think you have to eliminate my score on this.
Mine's a 2.8. It's not great.
Okay, because I know that I'm not. I can pick up on all the little hints.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just getting straight fingernail polish remover.
See if you get a taste out of it. I just took my first taste. Japanese whiskey is interesting. It's obviously very different from bourbons. The Japanese started making whiskey after they tried bourbon. They just absolutely loved it, and they thought they could refine this craft in their kind of own style. Is
it smoky?
There's a little smoky and almost a little bit of fruit. I feel like I get that every Japanese whiskey I try. There's a little bit of fruit, a stone fruit. There's a little bit. I want to say it's like a baked apricot.
Apricot. Why did you say apricot?
That's how I say it. Apricot.
You say apricot.
Daddy grew up on a pecan ranch.
Stop. Stop. You're done. I'm not getting a good taste out of this. I'm sorry. It's not.
Sorry, you're disqualified from this.
DQ'd.
You can try it later, and we'll put in your scores on our tracker. Don't forget, we do have a tracker. You can find it through our Twitter. It's a Google Doc. You can't edit it. Sorry. That would defeat the purpose of getting our scores. But you can see our scores, mine and Miranda's individually, and you can see the average. Right now, Keeper's Heart Sherry Cask finish is winning. I didn't know if you knew that. Yeah. We've done this since April. That's what's winning so far. We did get a new Keeper's Heart that we will try eventually.
Yes, the rum cast.
Yeah, which that reminds me, if you're interested in being in our fantasy football listener league, please reach out and let us know. I know Channing was in the chat. Channing, if you want to join the listener league, we got a couple spots left, and it would be fun to have you on there. But I can't say it's official because I haven't reached out yet. But the past 2 years, Keeper's Heart has sponsored our pod or our
We have it
listener league.
reconfirmed.
The winner has gotten a bottle of whiskey. They are very gracious, and we're very thankful for them.
Mhm.
So, but we will be talking some Keeper's Heart in the future here. Got to get them back on the pod, as well as now Redwood Empire.
They have some big events like coming up.
Yeah.
So it would be,
Absolutely.
we really do need to touch base with them again.
Yeah, for sure. I know you're not getting it, but I got smokiness, like you said, like that rechar of the barrel. It's
Yeah,
like that's what I'm
it's
getting.
smoky,
that
but
rechar,
It's not,
and then I'm getting apricot.
I'm not getting anything like that. So
That's fine.
it's horrible. Nothing sounds good to me right now. I've
Yeah.
been drinking tea all day and I've had toast.
I did offer to make you a hot toddy, though. I will say I don't think this is hot toddy eligible. You want something
You're like,
strong.
do you want me to make you an old fashioned? And I bowed out on that, and you're like, well, I could make a hot toddy, and I knew we were gonna try, and I was just like, no.
Yeah,
No.
the flavor, I'm giving it a 3.1. I actually think it's really pleasant. I like the flavor. I like it a lot more than the first time I tried it. The cocktail and old fashioned is what we do. We are old fashioned football, but it is the wrong cocktail for this. Nothing about it stood out. It did not. I could not taste whiskey in my cocktail. I could taste the bitters. I could taste the ice cube melting. I could taste a little bit of the sweetness from the sugar, because we do sugar water rather than simple syrup. But it gets a 2.8. I feel like that's generous, but I gave it a 2.8 and not lower, because I feel like as a Japanese whiskey, this was not the cocktail for it. This would be a good lighter cocktail, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some quarterback rankings real quick.
Okay.
NFC East quarterback ratings by looks. I have written down what I think you're going to do, but let's get into it.
All
Jalen
right.
Hurts. Did you get a good look at Jalen Hurts?
Yes.
I've got him pulled up in front of you. Not a lot of shirts off, but I got this one so you could see.
He has a side tattoo.
He's got a side. He's got one on both sides, actually.
Both sides.
You can see that one.
Yeah.
All right, little Jaden Daniels action now. You
Okay.
saw all you needed of Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
It's like suave.
Suave. Yeah. Jaden Daniels.
Alrighty.
Shirt off, no tattoos.
No tats.
No tats. You ready for Dak Prescott?
Yes, show me Dak.
Little Dak action there.
Mm-hmm.
And a little tattoo action.
Yeah.
And then we got Russ Wilson. This is funny hearing CJ and Ryan kind of think about like who you might be picking and kind of your thoughts. So, Russ Wilson, his wife is in this one. This was for a GQ photo shoot.
Russ Wilson's a good looking dude.
Good looking enough to be in GQ.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be good looking for that. No tats.
No
tats.
He looks way too. You gave me like super serious photos of him. He's like frowning in these.
There's not a lot of shirt off photos of him. I was surprised to find that. What do you want to see again? Any of them?
I need like a lineup.
I don't have them side by side.
I know. This is a good looking group of quarterbacks.
I knew you would like this one. I just knew. All right, so let's look at Russ real quick. Russ, Dak, also from GQ. Jaden Daniels, little younger dude.
He is. He's
and
cute.
And then Jalen Hurts, suave, as you said.
Yeah, he's like all.
This is a hard one to rank, isn't it?
It is.
I knew you'd have trouble. I have my predictions for you, but
okay, no, go back. Let me see Dak and Daniels really quick.
Okay, Daniels.
Yep, I got Dak. Go down. Why did you have to pick like where he's in a blue light?
Well, I thought the GQ angle would be a good one.
All right, Jaden Daniels is a little baby faced.
Yeah.
So he's 4.
Okay.
He's cute, but he's 4.
Yeah.
Kind
of scrolling through here so you can see.
Yeah.
Hurts.
Okay. And then it goes. How old is Russell Wilson? Hold on a minute.
31.
He's 36.
36.
He's older.
Whoa.
He's
younger than me,
but he's older than me. No. So Jaden Daniels 4.
Yeah.
Dak 3.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
My rankings are wrong.
Your rankings are wrong.
Yeah.
And then
now you're between Hurts and
Hurts
Wilson.
then Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson number 1.
All right. I thought you would take Dak. I thought just the
Dak
look,
would be number 1, then Russ, then
then
Jalen and
then
Jaden.
Jaden. So I got Russ and Jaden right? No, you had
Russell Wilson's number 1.
Russ Wilson number 1.
Yes. Then Jalen.
He just looks too serious to me.
He's not always serious. He's posing. He's posing.
Look at him smiling with his eyes. Dak
That'd be
is smiling
Dak.
with his eyes.
I don't know. Dak and okay, hold on. Go. You're second guessing. Let me see
answers.
Jalen and Dak better. Thank you for making these photos bigger. That helps.
You're welcome. All right, there's Jalen Hurts with his kind of side tat.
Yep.
And there's
Dak.
Mr. Dak Prescott with his shoulder.
Dak
neck tats,
and Jalen
tats,
are
tats,
basically tied, but
still 2-3 tied.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
we're good now.
There you
I
go.
did that for you. That's a hard group of quarterbacks to rank.
Good. Yeah. Good looking. I mean,
They're good.
I'm
They're-
not afraid
they're
to say it's a
studs.
good looking group of guys. Yeah. That's the.
Oh, this photo of Russell Wilson on my phone because I just pulled him up on Sleeper to see his age.
Yeah.
He looks angry.
I told you he doesn't smile. I just said that. I said he doesn't smile.
Well,
He said, "Well, that's the photo. It's serious." I said, "No, he don't smile."
no, I swear I've seen photos of Russell Wilson smiling. It's like you purposely
it's
gave
like
me angry faced.
angry faced Russell. We're gonna be back again tomorrow night. Quick turnaround time.
Mhm.
See, no smiles. You're bringing him up on
No,
your
he's
computer
fine.
now.
Eh,
That's not a smile.
mm,
There's a smile.
yeah, right
on-
here. There's a smile.
Yeah. And he looks goofy smiling. No wonder he don't smile.
No, he doesn't look goofy. Okay, just get out of here.
Anyways, we're going to be back tomorrow with Sports Nonsense Whiskey, which I realize you could probably say, hey, that sounds like your show. That's why we get along with them so well. I know Pinky will for sure be joining us. Not sure if the brain is joining. I mean, if anybody
Pinky and the
else.
brain. Every time we mention Pinky, I immediately think Pinky and the brain.
Zoinks.
And then you have started making comments about the brain.
Right? I used to love that show. I love that show. What are we going to do tonight, right?
I feel like that was just about to be old, like when I watched it.
That makes sense of why
It was almost
it was prime,
before my time.
prime time for me, the
When it was
older
going
one in the
out
room here.
when it was my time.
Pinky and the Brain never went out. I'd still watch it. That's all we got in the NFC East. We're going to be talking about the AFC West
Mhm.
as Sports Nonsense Whiskey, located in Colorado. Big Denver Broncos fan. Going to be talking about that with them tomorrow, 6:30 Central Time. That's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait for
Yes.
that. Talking a little bit more whiskey. Since you were sick, I decided I was going to go with.
Oh my
foreign-
gosh, I was sick last time we had them on the show.
Yeah, and you didn't show on that one.
I can't get worse.
No, you got to show.
I have gotten I woke up sick Monday and I have steadily gotten worse.
Yeah.
I can't. Why? If I am super sick tomorrow, I'm blaming them because I was super sick last time. We were
I will
supposed
let
to have
them
them
know
on the
that.
show.
I will let him know
No,
that.
I'm gonna
if-
be here.
All right. Anyway, since you're sick,
It'll be more of this, just disgusting mess. But
since you're sick, I decided we'd go with some foreign whiskeys. Because when you first tried this, you didn't care for it. So we had the Japanese whiskey today.
Mhm. What are we having tomorrow?
Tomorrow, we have Levant Heights Lebanese whiskey. I have never had a Lebanese
We haven't
whiskey.
tried that though.
No,
And you're gonna do it when I'm sick and I can't try it?
absolutely.
Why? We should be
'Cause I
doing
don't
like just a
expect it to be very
standard
good.
bourbon right now or something.
I don't expect it to be very good.
But what if it is and I don't get to, for the first time trying it, I don't get the.
All right, maybe I'll switch it up. Maybe I'll
No,
switch
you're
it up.
fine. Do what you're doing. But we could have done like a Breckenridge.
We can do a Breckenridge.
We're
We can do
having
that.
the Broncos fans on. Why would
Yeah.
it? We have the Broncos Breckenridge whiskey.
Let's do that. It is decided.
What-
That makes
This
sense.
is why I plan things. Like
Yeah.
that goes.
This is why she doesn't usually leave me up to this. Do you have anything else you wanted to add on
And
the
then
NFC?
I don't have to talk so much because we've had Breckenridge on our show. We've
Yeah, we just refer to that episode
Yes.
for sure. Brian Nolt,
see,
awesome,
saving my
awesome
voice
dude.
myself.
Somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got it.
Do you have anything else you want to add on the NFC East, on CJ and Ryan, on Nika Coffee Grain Whiskey, on the good-looking quarterbacks of the NFC.
I will
East.
retry because I don't remember trying this whiskey the first time. I'll retry it when I can taste and smell so that I don't give such a horrible review.
Thanks again to CJ and Moneyline.
Yes, thank you guys.
Fun.
It was fun. You guys are a
Absolutely.
good time.
Got to come back during the regular season. Got to have them back just to bullshit, talk some football, because that's what we do. Football and whiskey on old-fashioned football. That's all we got. I just mentioned to somebody because they did their first auction draft on ESPN. And I said, I like ESPN's app, but I am crushed that they got rid of the guy that when the time was ticking down, you had your speakers on and he would say, going once, going twice.
Sold.